Microsoft is talking again about their Xbox One. You know, the system with the requirements of an always-on connection, the Kinect that spies on the customers, the inability to use used games, or the inability to share games or rent games. Yeah, well, it seems that they've taken a step back from that position of the inability to play used games and share games and such. Now, I'm sure this has nothing to do with Sony's sales spiking in the PlayStation 4 pre-orders, and I'm sure this has nothing to do with Sony's stock rising as soon as the Xbox One gets revealed. I'm sure this is the most sincere, rational. I'm sorry, I can't finish this. No, this is because they're losing money. Now, this is a step in the right direction, but I fear that they're completely insincere about it since it's essentially being fixed with an patch that you have to download online. Now, the reason why I doubt their sincerity is pretty obvious. That is that they're essentially keeping those abilities within the system to essentially brick it anyway. Oh, you don't want to go online? Okay, well, we're going to force you to go online and get an Xbox Gold. They could still technically do that even with this patch, because all they would have to do is, well, unpatch the patch. And that would not be difficult for Microsoft. So I'm going to abstain on the Xbox One until I see how they actually handle the always-on features. Now, if they keep with the idea of not embracing them at all and kind of distancing them from it and allowing less DRM instead of more, I might get an Xbox One. But I'm going to wait on that. Now, having said that, the new features that they're also going to include is that it's going to be region free. This is good for playing foreign games, like video games are being, well, not being released in the United States and essentially in other languages and stuff. This is a better move for Nintendo or Sony to do, but I'm not against this. This would be a right direction for a video game company. More of a foreign company than for something domestic within the United States. But I digress. It's a good move from Microsoft. However, I truly doubt their sincerity. So I'm just going to take a nice step back and see what happens. As I seriously doubt these fuckers have the best of intentions. I could be wrong. I could be. But I want to take a good close wait and watch and see what they do. Now, if they're sincere about it and they don't unpatch the patch and let gamers play games, I might get one. I'm going to keep my fingers crossed on this. So, yeah. Where I stand on it is that it's a good move, but I truly doubt their sincerity, and I want to see if they're going to be honest about it. Now, lately, you can't have been able to trust Microsoft or Sony when they've been able to say anything about used games. So I'm just going to take a sit and wait approach, which is what I recommend for anyone else thinking about buying an Xbox One and not being forced into being online or seeing their system turn into a $400 or $500 brick. So yeah, what I suggest is really to take a wait and see approach to see what they do. Microsoft announced the release of Minecraft for the Xbox One. My question is, why in the world did they need to do something so simple as re-release a game for the Xbox One? And it's really an issue I have with the whole system, and that is no backwards compatibility. They wouldn't have had to re-release this game had they simply allowed backwards compatibility. And on top of that, they're like, oh, we're thinking of allowing gamers to transfer their saves over to this, but we're not really sure. Well, by doing this, you're going to alienate gamers yet again if you don't allow for the saves, as people that generally play Minecraft put in hours of gameplay. This is my own footage of me playing Minecraft on my own Xbox 360. Yeah, as you might have told, or as you might have been able to tell, I'm not exactly willing to put all of this effort into another game of Minecraft. I myself have put over hours of gaming into this. This should have been a no-brainer. But then again, if you think about the decision-making of Microsoft, An always-on system, the backlash of that should have been a no-brainer while they were arguing it. The inability to use used games should have been a no-brainer while they were firing people for even leaking the information. And yet, this is what they did. So, I see a lot of gamers not being willing to transfer over to the Xbox One if they keep doing stupid shit like this. So, yeah. This would have been completely fixed had they just allowed backwards compatibility and for save transfers from one system to the next. Not an outrageous thing. And in this day and age, it's even easier thanks to USB drive support. It would have been fucking easy to do that. And even without the USB drive support, there's also the cloud and transferring saves over to that way. Yeah, that would have been a little messy and sticky, but if you allowed the transfer saves to be transferred over from the cloud to the hard drive, at the very least, the saves would be, well, essentially saved. When I hit press and start to save my game progression, that's exactly what I want to do. I want to save my game progression. Same with any other gamer. So not allowing us for simple save progression will prevent people from switching over to the Xbox One. I feel like a broken record with this stupid shit. How many times do customers need to say this shit before Microsoft actually wakes the fuck up?
This was a triumph. I'm making a note here, huge success. It's hard to overstate my satisfaction. Aperture science. We do what we must because we can. For the good of all of us, except the ones who are dead.